All right. Hello, everyone. A couple days ago, I made a little deck tech video of a basic Wyvern deck that I had turned into a partial constructed deck. So I referred to it as a basic constructed deck. It featured 20 strength modifiers, which is probably what I will end up calling that deck at some point. This is another one of those decks where I took a basic deck and tried to make it like more constructed, so it's kind of a blend of both. I have the most squeaky table. I should get some oil or something and do something about that squeak. Anyway, yeah, I usually flip this around, don't I? I usually put this over here and this over here. Okay, and I've got magic sleeves that I'm using for backs. So the Dragon Lair is the red and the Treasure Horde is the white. Just thought I'd show those just for fun. All right, so the Dragon Lair, and I keep doing this, and I get this big glare, and I don't see it, so I'm gonna put it over here where I can see it on my phone a little easier. So this is Amphitheater, your 0 strength flying scout. If you are, a lot of people have been watching my L5R videos. If you're an L5R fan and you've never played Wyvern, I recommend you check out this game. If you go on eBay, you can buy limited deck starter decks. You can buy a box of starter decks. It's like 12 decks for like maybe 60 bucks. You can probably buy one limited starter deck for 10 to 20. There's Kingdom decks, but they're expensive. Phoenix booster packs are expensive, and Chameleon booster packs are insane. I will never pay that kind of money for a Chameleon booster pack. Never. I don't even know why anyone does. But Limit is your best value. It's the least collectible in value. There are reasons behind that. Kingdom and Limit are almost the same. They added like 50 cards to Kingdom. That's all that was. So that's a great way to get into this game. Comes with a nice little starter rule set. And this is a lot of fun. You should definitely try it out. So anyway, this is our Flying Scout. Now, see what I got to be careful here. Free Flying Scout. And then we have Typhon. Let me see if I can, yeah, like that. So Typhon's another one. I don't know why my phone does this, but it is what it is. This phone replaced my other phone because my other phone died. And then one more Scout, Delphine. So those are our 3 scouts. We're going to play Lindworm, optional for a deck like this, and Lambton Worm only if my opponent... When I play casual decks like this, it's not fair if one person plays Lambton Worm and one doesn't. So I'd take it out if they didn't have Lambton Worm. Because it gets you back a position, and it's just kind of silly for that. Laidley Worm. This is a really nice little dragon, cheap little dragon. It only costs you 2 gold, 1 strength plus the 1 gold. Makes them discard at random if she loses. And we have some survival abilities in this deck too, because I said this is kind of a blend of all things. Green Dragon is great. They lose the battle. Their dragon loses all of their special abilities. Very cool. I love pronouncing this card Moko Lambabembedabi. I really don't know what the correct pronunciation is. It reminds me of the guy Finding Nemo when he was trying to say anemone. So that's what I do when I try to say his name. But neat little guy. He loses a battle, you draw a card, and that's good. Dragonelle wins a battle, and you draw a card. That's even better. You killed their guy, and well, not necessarily killed him. They might save him too. Then this card is all in for Lotan for 4 gold. You're probably just going to win right away or lose right away. You're probably not going to have a whole lot you can do. There are things you can do. Interceptors will disrupt that. But you won't get any interceptors from limited cards. All right, Bride Serpent is another good dragon. When he wins a battle, they have to discard a card at random. So that's a nice effect. Iowa, for 4 strength, you get a 3 strength sub, and they lose 2 strength unless they're subterranean. So that's 5. Really, that's 5 points for 4 gold. Good, really, really good card, actually. that card did make a lot of constructed. I don't think this one did. Big old 5 flying celestial dragon. So you're 5 gold, you get a 5 flyer. Really great dragon for the basic game. I won a game, wiped my opponent out because he couldn't kill this thing. It was great. Clouds, -2 strength modifier. You get 2 gold, but it only affects flyers. So you put this in your back row and hope that they don't have any other way of attacking the back row, and you'll get them. Of course, if they have a scout, nothing you can do about it. Hurricane kills any flying dragon. So again, put it in your back row. Don't put this in your front row. Don't take that chance. 2 copies of Hurricane. You can run 4 copies of any terrain. You can only run 1 copy of each dragon. They are unique in the game. 1 island, because it steals the flying dragon. You take control of it. That's super powerful. You can either swap it out to get that island off the dragon because you swap it out and they've lost their position, or you can take the risk that they won't get rid of this terrain, because if they get rid of the terrain, they get their dragon back, and you can just go ahead and start attacking with their dragon, which is also a very fun strategy. Moat, -2 strength. You get 2 gold, but it does not affect flying dragons. So always put this in the front row, I would say, and hope that a flying dragon doesn't hit it. That's all you can care. Because in the game, if the terrain doesn't apply, the terrain is destroyed. I changed that rule to the terrain is swapped out. To me, that makes more sense. But the original game, it's destroyed. Vines, you get 2 gold. Dragon is not able to play action cards during attack and defense for the rest of the game. Vines affect flying dragons only. So same thing, put it in the back row. So that's the Dragon Lair. It's a nice, fun deck to play. Let's look at the Treasure Horde now. Centaurs, 1 copy of Centaurs. Centaurs is a good card. It deals with your opponent's treasures. It's either going to get rid of them or they're going to have to pay gold to not lose them. So it's an effective card. 1 copy of Crystal Ball, just because it's a nice way of looking at your top 5 cards or your opponent's top 5 cards, so at least you'll know what they're drawing in their hand. You have to remember, of course, you can't write it down. I've never understood the writing down the cards so you don't have to remember them. I thought card games involved memory, so I've never understood that with Magic. All right, Marduk is a very cool card. We're going to run 2 copies of Marduk. Good. Just had something in my mouth. The Interceptors do get around Marduk. I don't know if anything else does. Excellent card, though. 4 copies of Meteor Shower. This is all of our card draw. I might take that down to 2. Might knock that down to 2 and replace it with some other cards because I don't need 4 Meteor Showers in here. This card is in here just for fun. Sometimes it will work. 2 gold, switch hands with your opponent as an action. It could backfire on you, but you're not going to do it if your opponent has 2 cards and you've got 4 or 5. There's no point in doing it then, unless you have absolutely nothing of any value or anything worth at the moment. 1 copy of Volcanic Eruption. That's a given in all my decks because this became a unique card for the game, so you can only run 1. But initially you could run 4. And in the rules, it doesn't say anything about it being unique. Golden Apple, we're just running 2. That's why I said I'm probably going to change the Meteor Showers to 2 as well. Your dragon loses the battle but doesn't die. Excellent card. One copy? No, 2 copies of Medea's Spell. This is one of those power cards for 2 gold. You can reduce the dragon's base strength to 0. It doesn't say base strength on this card, but if you look up the Kingdom version, it says base strength. That is the updated cards. So that's important to know if you decide to get into this game. This and one other card which is coming up, base strength, not current strength, not just the strength. Knight, excellent card, cancels the battle. You're about to die, you don't want to die, you cancel it, hopefully they can't counter your knight, and that's the end of that battle. 1 Possession from Beyond. Possession from Beyond is great if there's a dragon in your discard pile or your opponent's discard pile. Otherwise, it does absolutely nothing. So 1 gold, little bit situational, but usually it will work decently. Actually, it'll work great if there's a big dragon in somebody's discard pile. Possession spell is the same thing, but it has to be a face-up dragon on the table, and it can't be one that's in the battle. And this is the updated version. This is the Kingdom logo. That's how you know it's a Kingdom card. The dragon that you possess, that base strength becomes 0, so that you can't do this again. You can't possess it a second time. That's why they updated the wording to make it real clear. So 2 copies of Possession Spell. And here's the other one that only affects the base strength, not the current strength. So if I switch my dragon with their dragon, and their dragon has a -1 terrain strength modifier on it attached to the dragon, let's say it's a 5. Well, it's a 4. They switch base strengths. My strength goes to 5. Theirs goes to whatever my dragon's base strength is, -1, because they have the terrain still on them. So the base strengths switch. And this is one of the most powerful cards in the game, and we are running 2 copies in this deck. For those times when I lose, we're going to run 1 copy of Sacrifice. They have to pay me 2 gold. I lose the battle, they pay me 2 gold. Then our strength modifiers are pretty straightforward. We're going to run 4 Magical Swords. One of the best strength modifiers in the game. You get +2 for just 1 gold, so 2 for 1 is an excellent rate. This rate is a little bit less good. Firebolt, +3 for 2 gold. 2 gold is expensive if you consider the fact that this card costs 2 gold and is one of the most powerful cards in the game, and this card costs 2 gold and it is not one of the most powerful cards in the game. That is something that if they ever do bring this game back, I hope they will make this a little bit better of a card for 2 gold. I think they should do something to it, but what exactly, I don't know. So just 2 copies because of the gold cost. And then this only affects little dragons whose base strength is 2 or less. And you can see it says base strength now. This is the Chameleon set. Or no, this is the Phoenix set. There's your Phoenix logo. +3 strength modifier is huge for free. That's absurd, but it only affects little dragons. So it worked. It's a good card. And then if you want to spend a couple of gold, you get +5 on those little dragons. So the Celestial Charger, great card. Just 1 copy. Then we've got 3 Dragon Slayers, and they are all Sir Galahad. For 2 gold, you can destroy any big dragon. My favorite of the Dragon Slayers. Jason is 3 gold. It slays any dragon. This slays only big dragons, which are really the main problem, usually. Little dragons can be a problem, though, especially with all the cards from Chameleon. So then we have to be able to deal with our opponent trying to slay our dragon, so we're running 2 copies of Marina and 1 copy of Kiss of the Succube. This became a unique card too. You could only run 1 in your deck. Originally it was 4. This card is absurd, so I'm glad they made it unique. Too bad the game died because I wanted to keep playing. I wanted to keep going to tournaments. I was so into it at the time. All right, ways to deal with their strength modifiers. Armor just counters it. That was the counter spells in Wyvern, other than Magnetic Field, which counters any purple card. We're not running any Magnetic Fields in this deck, even though it is the best card in the game. This is a basic constructed deck. It's not a highly competitive one, but this is a good deck. Two copies of Steel Strength. They play their strength modifier, and I steal that strength modifier and add it to my dragon. Powerful effect, better than armor, obviously, which is why there's a gold piece. All right, treasures. I am not running not really any gold generation other than Sacrifice. Maybe there was another card or 2 back there. So I'm going to play some things here that will make my deck affordable. Even though this does cost 1 gold, dragons in this row cost 1 less gold when turned face up. So the first dragon is just a wash. If I get a second dragon to save a gold piece on, then it's worth it. So I think it had to be. I think they had to charge 1 gold. I don't think it would have made sense if they didn't. But it's only dragons in your row, so you have to be careful with that. It won't always work. We're going to run 2 copies of Fountain of Youth, which is basically golden apple in the form of a treasure. It does the exact same thing. They survive a lost battle. Pearl is a really nice card, really good for the basic game. I don't know if it saw constructed play or not. When a dragon in this row wins a battle, you get to draw a card, which you always want. And then 3 copies. This is really what makes my deck work, and I don't go broke. 3 copies of Sail. All cards from players' hands cost 1 less gold as long as it's in play. It does help my opponent, but I'll play it if I'm getting low on gold, because I will run out of gold if I don't play it. Unless I have a really healthy amount of gold, maybe I won't play it. Depends on where my opponent's at. If my opponent's low on gold, I probably won't play it. But I'm running 3 of them, and you can only get 4 treasures into the game. That's the most. There's only 4 slots to put a treasure in. And then lastly, this can make me run out of gold too, but it draws cards. It can really draw cards. If you've got the gold, this is great. So this plus Sail is crazy. All your cards cost 1 less gold, and you can spend a gold to draw a card. It's just it really can power the deck if you get that, if you get both up. Maybe I should run 2 of these. I'll take out those 2 meteor showers. I think I'm going to run 1 of this. We'll see. Anyway, that is my second basic constructed deck. Actually, I took a starter deck boxes and made them into better decks. I took all the really bad cards out of the decks and made them better. And then I even made some with themes to them. So I've got like a gold generating basic constructed deck, a Naga deck, a Flyers deck, a Subterranean deck, all those things, all in their Wyvern starter deck boxes, so that they all look like this. This is the one I just did a video of. So this is that deck. So it's this is the basic constructed deck. So I have like a bunch of these, which I don't really need to show. I can. If you'd like to see more of them, feel free. I still have a couple of decks that I might make a deck tech video for. I'm also making deck techs of my L5R decks that I built over the years when I haven't played in years. So check for that. If you'd like to see some really cool art, I invite you to type in Google and on YouTube the name Tristan Meinecke. He was my dad. It's spelled Tristan Meinecke. Google image his art. We have a website, Facebook page, and there's a really cool YouTube video. We turned his home into an art gallery around 2013 and had a really, really successful opening night. And I thought it was going to turn into something, but it all died a couple months later. People were coming for about a month to see the art. It was really, really cool. So I think you'll like that. I can also make a video of his art that I have here in my apartment. I'm more than willing to share some of his art like that if you'd like. And also, lastly, if you like the stuff on my channel and if you are a fan of Dungeons & Dragons, go look at my last community post. I posted my narration of my D&D novel that I wrote. Actually, I've written 2. They're long, and I think you'll like them if you like Dungeons & Dragons. Hope you check it out. Love to talk to all of you. I'm in Chicago if anyone wants to play Wyvern or L5R or D&D. We just started a D&D campaign. We'll see how that goes. Talk to you all later. Bye-bye.